saving money. It's the first rule of financial security we're ever taught. A simple, responsible habit that provides a tangible, comforting sense of control over our future. It feels safe, prudent, the right thing to do. But what if the very strategy that built your foundation becomes the thing that undermines it, especially as you move past 40? Because that same trusted habit, left unchanged, can quietly begin to work against you. While your cash sits still, an invisible and relentless force is always moving. Inflation. Slowly, silently, it's eating away at the value of every single dollar you've saved. Your purchasing power diminishes day by day, even while your account balance stays exactly the same. And without realizing it, you're not just failing to protect your future, you're actively losing it. So the real question is, in a world where the value of your money seems to shrink every single day, what is the right move? We've always been taught to save, but that advice now feels outdated, even dangerous. Should you still be saving, diligently putting money aside for a future that feels increasingly uncertain? Or is it time to stop, to completely rethink your financial strategy before your savings lose all their value? Saving money feels like something you should have done earlier. It's a quiet thought that arrives late at night when the house is still and the only light comes from a screen in your hand. It feels like a responsibility you missed, a memo that everyone else seemed to get, a fundamental rule of the game you only learned halfway through. It feels like a small mistake that slowly became a bigger one, a tiny crack in the foundation that you ignored, and now you can feel the whole structure shift. Most people believe it should have started in their 20s, that golden decade of invincibility, when everything felt easier and time felt endless. Back then, retirement was an abstract concept, a distant shore you couldn't even see. The focus was on experience, on living, on the immediate thrill of now, or at least in their 30s. That's when the plan was supposed to kick in, when income starts growing but habits are already formed. The money came in, but it went out just as fast, absorbed by a lifestyle that grew in lockstep with your salary. A bigger apartment, a nicer car, better restaurants. Each upgrade felt earned, necessary even. Saving was always something for next year, but now you're here, 40 or getting close. The number feels different, heavier, and maybe you didn't save much before. The jar you meant to fill is still mostly empty. The investment account you planned to open never was. Maybe you spent freely, without thinking too much about long-term consequences. Each tap of the card was a micro-decision for the present, a vote against a future that felt too far away to matter, on comfort, lifestyle, and things that felt important at the time. And they were important. They built the life you have now, but they came at a cost that is only now coming due, and now there's a quiet question that keeps returning. It surfaces in the moments between tasks, on the drive home from work, in the silence before sleep. A question that doesn't go away even when you try to ignore it. You can drown it out with noise, with work, with distraction, but it always comes back. Did I waste too much? Did I fall behind? You see others your age, and you wonder about their choices, their discipline. You start to measure your own life against a yardstick you can't even see. But here's the truth, most people don't say clearly, the one that sits beneath all the financial advice and retirement calculators. A truth that feels uncomfortable at first. It doesn't matter how much you drained before 40. Every dollar spent, every opportunity missed, every year of inaction, because that time is gone, it exists only in your memory, and memory pays no bills, and thinking about it changes nothing. Dwelling on the past is like trying to steer a ship by watching its wake. Regret does not build a future. It is a heavy anchor, holding you in a place you can no longer change. What matters now is what you do next. The only power you have is in this moment and the ones that follow, because 40 is not the end. It's not a finish line you failed to cross. It's a turning point, a moment where the rules of the game fundamentally change, a shift in how life works. Before 40, time is forgiving. It's a buffer, a safety net woven from years you haven't lived yet. You can make mistakes and recover. A bad investment, a career change, a period of unemployment. There was always runway ahead to make up for it. You can wait and adjust. The world felt pliable. your path still unwritten, you can afford to delay decisions. Procrastination had fewer consequences. But after 40, things begin to change. The physics of your financial life are altered. Time becomes tighter. Each year represents a larger percentage of your remaining working life. The power of compounding, once your greatest ally, now works with less runway. Decisions become heavier. The stakes are higher. A choice made now has less time to be corrected if it's wrong. Mistakes take longer to fix. A financial setback that might have taken 2 years to recover from in your 20s could now take 5 or more. And the future feels closer than before. It's no longer a vague idea, it's a destination on the map, and you can see the miles ticking down. That's why saving at 40 becomes important. Critically important, not because you're late, but because the margin for error has shrunk. But because stability starts to matter more than ever. The desire for adventure is slowly replaced by a need for security. Because uncertainty becomes more expensive. An unexpected car repair, a medical bill, a leaky roof. These are no longer just inconveniences. They are threats to your timeline. If you keep spending the same way as before, nothing breaks immediately. You can continue the same patterns, the same lifestyle. That's the dangerous part. The change is not a sudden event. It's a slow, creeping erosion of your future. At 45, everything still feels normal. The income is steady. Life is comfortable. The future still seems manageable. Life continues without warning signs. The problem is invisible, accumulating silently beneath the surface of your daily routine. At 50, pressure begins to build. You start to notice it. A quiet anxiety about retirement calculators, a growing awareness of your peers who are further ahead. Costs rise faster than expected. Inflation, healthcare, supporting aging parents or growing children. The demands on your income intensify. At 55, compromises begin. They are small at first. The vacation you postpone, the car you decide to keep for a few more years, the brand you switch to at the grocery store. Choices become limited. The world of possibilities starts to shrink. At 60, the gap becomes real. It's no longer a number on a spreadsheet, it's a tangible reality. The difference between what you have and what you need is now a constant presence, not dramatic but limiting. It's not poverty, it's a life lived in a smaller box than you had imagined. And that limitation affects everything. It seeps into every corner of your existence. You hesitate more before spending. Every purchase requires a mental calculation, a justification. The simple joy of buying something you want is replaced by a feeling of anxiety. You delay important decisions, fixing the house, upgrading your technology, even seeking medical care. Everything gets weighed against a dwindling financial buffer. You start calculating everything. The cost of gas to visit a friend, the price difference between 2 brands of coffee. Your mind becomes a constant abacus of small-scale economics. Every dollar begins to feel heavier. It carries the weight of past mistakes and future anxieties. This is what happens without savings. It's not a sudden, spectacular collapse. Not collapse, but restriction. A slow, quiet tightening of the walls around your life. It slowly reduces your options. One by one, doors that were once open begin to close, and fewer options mean less freedom. The freedom to choose, to change, to be spontaneous, to be generous. It affects your social life. The invitations still come, but your response changes. You begin saying no more often, not because you don't want to go, but because you can't justify the cost. No to dinners, no to travel, no to opportunities. Eventually people stop asking. Your world becomes smaller over time. Isolation isn't a choice, it's a side effect of financial constraint. It affects your family life as well. The place that should be a sanctuary becomes a source of tension. Money becomes a source of stress. It's the unspoken topic in every conversation, the elephant in every room. Small decisions turn into conflicts. What to have for dinner, whether to turn on the heating, a child's request for a new pair of shoes, they all become potential arguments. Unexpected costs create pressure. A crisis that a savings account could absorb instead becomes a family emergency, creating blame and resentment. Support becomes harder to give. The desire to help your children or care for your parents clashes with the reality of your own financial fragility. That pressure becomes emotional. It's a weight you carry constantly, and emotional pressure changes behavior. You become more irritable, more withdrawn, less patient. It affects your health over time. The mind and body are connected, and the mind is under siege. Stress builds quietly. It manifests as headaches, as indigestion, as a constant low-level fatigue that never seems to go away. Sleep becomes lighter. Your mind refuses to shut down, replaying calculations and worries on a loop. Worry becomes constant. It's the background noise to your life, and over time your body feels it. The chronic stress takes its toll, weakening your resilience, aging you faster than the years themselves. This is the hidden tax of financial insecurity. Now look at the other side, the path less traveled, but the one that leads away from the edge. What happens when you start saving at 40? What happens when you decide that the future will not be a repeat of the past, that the narrative can be rewritten? It begins with a single action, even if it's small. A conscious choice to set aside something for a version of you that doesn't exist yet, even if it feels late. The weight of past mistakes, of years lost, can feel crushing. But this one small act is a quiet rebellion against that feeling. You begin building control, one decision at a time. At first, it's just a small number on a screen, almost meaningless. Then it grows slowly, almost imperceptibly. But something else is growing with it, a fragile sense of confidence, the knowledge that you are no longer passive. You are an active participant in your own future. You start to think more clearly. The constant, low-level hum of financial anxiety begins to fade. Spending becomes intentional. You ask, is this worth it? Not just for today, but for the peace of mind it might cost you tomorrow. It's not reactive anymore. The cycle of earning, spending, and worrying is broken. Your social life improves. You can say yes to dinner with friends without the silent calculation of what you'll have to sacrifice later. Because you feel more secure, you are present in the moment, not haunted by the ghosts of unpaid bills. Your family life becomes calmer. The unspoken arguments about money, the tension that hangs in the air, begins to dissipate. There is less tension, more clarity in decisions. A shared sense of purpose emerges. Your financial life becomes structured. Saving becomes a habit, as automatic as breathing. Then it becomes a system, a fortress you build brick by brick. Consistency becomes your superpower. But saving alone is not enough. It's a shield, not a sword. It protects, but does not grow. And in the world of money, standing still is the same as moving backward, because a silent force is always at work: inflation. It keeps moving forward, an invisible current pulling you back. Even when you don't notice it, it's the reason the grocery bill is a little higher this month, why the cost of gas feels heavier. It is quietly reducing your buying power. Your money stays the same, but its value slowly, relentlessly decreases. And for example, what $100 buys today may buy much less in 10 years. And this gap keeps growing. Now imagine two people at 40, both starting from the same place. One saves nothing, continuing to live day to day. The other saves consistently, even a small amount. At 50, the difference is noticeable but not dramatic. At 60, the difference is life-changing. One has options, the freedom to choose their work, their home, their future. The other has limits. Their choices are made for them by their circumstances. That's the power of time combined with action. Saving gives security and control, but too much saving, hoarding cash out of fear, limits growth. Wasting money gives short-term freedom, a fleeting illusion of wealth. But long-term pressure builds, silently and surely. So the answer is balance, a deliberate, calculated equilibrium. After 40, money becomes strategic. It's no longer just currency, it's a tool. Every dollar needs a role, a specific job to do. Some for safety, to guard against the unexpected. Some for growth, to outpace the silent erosion of inflation. And some for living, because a life unlived is the greatest cost of all. Because life doesn't stop at 40, it doesn't even slow down. In many ways, This is when the real work begins. But it becomes more real. The stakes are higher and the time for indecision is over. The path forward is one of intention. So should you keep saving after 40? The question hangs in the air for so many, filled with a quiet, persistent anxiety about the future. The simple answer is yes, but not blindly, not driven by a vague fear of tomorrow. That's the trap. Saving without a clear strategy is just organized panic. Instead, you must save with purpose. Save with sharp awareness of where every dollar is going and why. Because your future isn't some distant abstract idea. It's a structure being built by the choices you make right now. And sometimes the biggest financial risk you can possibly take is clinging to the old plan and doing nothing differently at all.